Hello. In this clip from our Justia webinar, Effective Time Management for Attorneys, Chris Early discusses the importance of time management in order to be more efficient and have a better balance between job and personal life. Remember, if you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Wonderful. Nina, thank you so much. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you, Justia. Really appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate the platform. Everyone here on this call is super busy. I'm mindful of that. I get it. And so my intention is to get to the meat and potatoes of this for the next hour and to give you my best stuff when it comes to time management. If we could, if you would enter into the chat what state you're in, let us know kind of where you are right now. And as that populates, I'll just share that this presentation is something that the content I feel very strongly about because this is a way to move the needle in your practice. It's a way to reduce stress. It's a way to make more money. Most importantly, it's a way to be happier. I feel like in this profession, there's a lot of unhappiness, a lot of unnecessary stress. People are shouldering too much as attorneys. So we're gonna reduce our stress. We're gonna make more money. We're gonna be happier, and that's my intention. So I'm gonna get right to it. But I know everyone on this call, like I said, is very busy, and so the intention is all right. We got Texas, California, Mexico, wonderful, California, Michigan. Oh, awesome, great, South Carolina. A lot of people on this call. All right, Wyoming. Wow, wonderful. So great. So welcome, and as Nina was kind enough to give me that intro at the beginning, I appreciate that. I have scaled my personal injury law firm. I'm a real geek at the business of law. I enjoy improving, optimizing my practice. I enjoy growing it. So I'm going to share some things that I've learned along the way. And a lot of this stuff took me later in my career to figure out. I'm always sort of geeking out on this and trying to move the needle on operating a better practice, on optimizing my time. So I'm home by 5 o'clock to be with my wife and kids, because that to me is what this is all about. Is more time with our families and less stress. So let's get into it. Whenever I speak, I always like to start with a quote. And this one, I think, is a good one. The quote is, "It is not enough to be busy. The question is, what are we busy about?" It's by Henry David Thoreau, right? So what are we doing as attorneys? Are we just on this hamster wheel of busy work? Or are we actually doing productive work that furthers our careers, that furthers our clients' cases, right? You'll hear me talking a lot about intentionality today, right? We're not really into random acts. When it comes to time management, we should be focused on intentional, focused work that's productive work that truly moves the needle, that allows us to have the lives that we would. Because I do believe that lawyers can be happy people. And for many years, I was very stressed out and unhappy. Now I have found a degree of liberation from the tedium that the profession can put on us. So I don't have it all figured out, but I'm going to share some stuff that's been super helpful as I've been able to scale my firm quickly. And a lot of this comes down to time management, comes down to my staff managing their time. So we're going to talk about how you can manage your time, how your staff can better manage their time. And it's to empower you to be sensitive to those things. And if you're a sole practitioner, we're going to give you some tips as well, because these things are really applicable to a sole practitioner, because you have to be very super sensitive to your time. I'd like you to enter the chat if you would indulge me. Do you feel like you're not as productive as you'd like to be, and this causes you stress and less job satisfaction? Can you just say me in the chat? Let us know if that resonates with you. I know it does with me. Thank you, Johnny, Heather. Okay. All right, Jason, Tammy. All right. So it was obviously a rhetorical question, right? We all get this. We all understand this. We all relate to this. Lisa, I see you. Okay. So I think the default in this profession is to work crazy hours, to work your tail off, right? What's the point of that? We only have so many years on this earth, only so many years raising our kids. And so we need to make the most of it. So everyone who just said me in the chat, I relate to that. I understand that. I wanted a better way of doing it. So I'm going to share how we've done that here. So why should you listen to me, right? Who am I? Well, I'm, like I said, a student. I really enjoy this stuff. I like to travel. I like to go to conferences, speak at conferences. I like to attend mastermind sessions. So I'm going to give you some sort of inside baseball tips that I've picked up along the way to, again, give you to give you some things that have helped me professionally to become more happy or make more money. Most importantly, work less hours. So again, I can be home with my family as much as possible. So I'm not working email and getting stressed out at night. So I think that's the time I should be with my family. And many people on the call can relate to that. So I encourage you, please stay until the very end of the presentation. I'm going to have an offer for you that it's irresistible. You don't want to miss it. It's a very good offer. So it's completely free. So make sure you stay on to the very end. So is this guy serious, right? So I'm going to give you strategies that may seem extreme. They may seem contrarian. They may seem a little militant, but again, we talked about intentionality at the start. You have to be super intentional, super focused on how you're spending your day, right? That hourglass, the sand is ticking. We're already 10 minutes into this presentation, right? Time is evaporating. So we can't get the time back. So I feel like traditional means of managing your time have got to be modified because we're in a more distracted time, and modern times with social media. There's less attention span. So we have to really be focused on what we're getting after, and that's the way to be super productive, I feel. I do believe the degree to which you manage your time dictates your level of success in this industry. And I believe it's probably no different than any other industry, but I can only speak to law. That's our industry collectively here on this call. So the level to which you can master your time, you can control your time, dictates how far you go in this field. I believe that strongly. And again, that's the only reason I've been able to scale my firm relatively. And I'm not saying this to boast. I work my tail off at this. This is hard work, but I can attest the fact that the more you manage your time, the quicker you grow. So my aha moment occurred at the beginning of the pandemic, or just slightly before the pandemic. Had a good practice, a very solid income. My practice was growing. I'm right in the heart of Boston. It's a very lawyer-saturated market, especially personal injury. It's a highly competitive industry. And I hung a shingle right out of law school, and I was doing well and making good money. My family was we're doing very well on that money, on that income. However, I craved something different. So I started going to conferences and reading books and my mind was sort of blown that there's sort of a better way to do this, to build a better mousetrap. But I think law school really doesn't serve law students in teaching them a lot of things about the business of law. So I talk a lot about the business of law. In this presentation, it's not so much about the business. It comes down to, again, time management. But I wanted to do it differently. So what I did was to really geek out on this stuff, absorb a lot of knowledge I'm going to share with you, so you don't have to do that heavy lifting, sort of the Cliff Notes version that I can provide on some of the things that I pick up at conferences. Again, mastermind sessions. I have a personal coach. I have for years, some things that I've learned from professional coaching. And so these slides are a little outdated, but yeah, in the past couple of years we've grown. We now have 15 team members, and I attribute our growth, my growth as a professional, as a professional, as a father, as a husband, to better time management. All right. So these are some things. I just hope you can take a couple things away from this session. And if you do, I can promise you it's going to move the needle in your practice. Again, the whole thesis, the whole point of this talk is to be productive as opposed to busy. And we'll get into that because busy doesn't move the needle. It's only productive that truly moves the needle and it can change your practice. So why is this so important, right? I can, as a fellow attorney, we have constant demands. I know it, right? I speak the language. We have judges, we have attorneys, we have clients breathing down our necks. I liken it to just putting out fires, right? There's always a fire. Sometimes it's a bonfire, and you're on the phone with Sally, right, in the middle of a conversation, but John's emailing you, and the judge is calling you, waiting for you. So on the phone, so just there's always stuff going on, and I feel as if it can be really easy to get negatively impacted by the demands that we have on us as professions, as attorneys, right? We have high ethical standards. We have high expectations. It's a hard slog of a career. It's really, as far as I can know, a very hard way to make a living. But if we turn a couple knobs, we can kind of flip things on its head and do things better. So time management is critical. So the things that time management as an attorney gives to you is more control of your day. We talked about more productivity, talked about more money, most importantly, happiness, sanity. You know, for me, it's not about chasing money. Like, money only gets you so far. It's chasing happiness, right? That's something that really is what this is about, at least to me. But this requires, again, focused intention, but discipline. There's a really good book. Some people may have read it on this call. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Really good book. It's about, daily habits that over time really move the needle. And that's what we're doing here. We're flipping our time management view, or at least reevaluating it, to try to squeeze the lemon for a little bit more juice, and at the same time to work less in the process. So just let's look at a 30,000-foot view over time, right? Obviously, once it's gone, it's gone. It's a finite resource. And the default in this profession, I feel like, is, again, work your tail off. Just work unending hours, right? Well, for me, that doesn't make me happy. It doesn't further my life, right? Because, again, all this presentation is about is how I've engineered my practice to have a better life. So my present father, present husband, when I come home, because otherwise, like, what's the point of all this, right? We busted our tails in law school, now we're busting our tails as professionals, but it doesn't have to be so hard. We can do it intelligently. And so, again, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it 100 times more. You have to be intentional, right? Focused on this stuff. There's time vampires, right? We talked about, you're talking with Sally on the phone. You got the client emailing you. You got stuff. Everyone's vying for your attention. You have a lot of clients and you have a lot of demands on you, right? So it could be mentally very disturbing to have all that stress on you. It could be very overwhelming at times, right? So I look at this time as an investment, right? Is this investment of my time, is this going to give me a good return? So we're going to get into that, right? We're going to talk about, again, busy work, productive work. Busy work doesn't give me a good return on my investment of time. Productive work is a good investment of my time. Productive work moves the needle, helps my career, helps me become a better leader of my organization, helps me become a better advocate for my clients. And I feel like all ships rise on a high sea when we are very thoughtfully meeting out our time. And this, if you have people working with you in your firm, this isn't just about you. This is about you working on your own time management so that you can teach this to your staff. Because when you're working your time management intentionally and you teach your staff to, then I feel like really big things can happen with a law firm. A lot of stuff gets done and people are happier, they're less stressed out. They tend to stay around. They don't want to leave if they've got a good thing going. So it's really important.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on law practice and legal marketing. See you in our next clip.